dog's just decided to take a dump just as I was start filming. Oh god, sorry about that. Right, we'll try again. I better clear this up. God. Good start. Speak to you in a minute. Take two. I'll walk slowly to stay in the sun. It was -5.5 last night centigrade, and it's -2.5 at the moment, even in the sun. Good to be out. I will put money on the fact that I think I've probably forgotten something today. This is my house at the moment and this is my intended workshop where I'm keeping all my camping and outdoor gear. So yeah, it's a real toss-up as to what I've not a case of if, it's more what I've forgotten. But it's good to be out, albeit really cold. I mean, just look at this beautiful, beautiful scene here. I'm going to some local woods in my village that I'll keep walking, it's keep warm, that are actually built on a quarry, so it's not great for camping because you can only get a tent peg in about 2 inches, but it's a great little sort of hideaway for doing the odd little video. And again, sorry, not getting much done. I'm going to stop making excuses, just life is getting in the way at the moment. I've got a few priorities with getting the house extension sorted out, and I'm also, you know, working really hard at the moment, doing a little bit of overtime in order to pay for the house extension and then getting these videos out. But all will be done in the new year, and so I'll be making these videos a lot more regularly. But for now, I just have to go with the flow and get out when I can, and it's good to see you. Going to go into the woods. I've got a little cooking system that I've been sent by a friend for just doing a little bit of a favour, and I'm really pleased about it. It's one of these Kelly kettles, but it comes with all sorts of different attachments, and I'll take you through what comes through the post because I haven't opened it yet. But I haven't got a tea bag, I can't find them. But I do have a hot chocolate mix, so I've been making one of those and doing a little bit of a cook up. But for now, I'll get myself into the woods, got my dog with me, so she's getting a good walk, and yeah, look forward to it. Oh yeah, and sorry about my hat too. It's my football hat. I can't find any of my Buffy hats or anything like that at the moment. I do know sort of where they are, but hopefully normal service will be resumed in January, I guess. Good, onwards. I love this little bit of wood here. It's this sort of quarry area is used quite a lot by mountain bikers, including my son. It's great, they've made lots of little tracks down at the bottom, but this little plateau here is really difficult to get up to. You have to carry a bike, and once you're up here it's just flat, so it's of no attraction to anyone that you know, wants to be riding a mountain bike up here. But it's this lovely flat plateau, brilliant old beech trees and oak trees, and I've camped up here a couple of times. I used my Lanshan one, I think, the first time. Had a real problem getting the pegs in, and then I've used it for hammock camping a couple of times. I think it was perfectly spaced, branchless sort of trunks of the trees for pitching a hammock, hanging a hammock, and it's just brilliant. So yeah, I'll get my kit sorted out and have a look at this Kelly kettle. Right, let's have a look at this. Get it the right way up. It's the Kelly Kettle Ultimate Base Camp Kit. Yes, it is. Comes with the sort of hobo stove, pot support, some grills. I think that's a couple of pots. One of these, what do they call them for picking up? Anyway, a pot picker-upper, a couple of plates, a couple of cups by the look of it, and then you've got your Kelly kettle and the bag. I've always wanted a Kelly kettle. So I'm not going to unwrap everything because I'm not going to use everything, but you've got the Kelly kettle here, and the way this works is on a double skin sort of concept, where you make your fire inside it, you fill up with the water there, and you make your fire, and the water in this sort of double skin of the Kelly kettle, and I believe it boils pretty quickly. So you start your fire in here, fill this up with water, and then you just feed in through the top here. And it's a fantastic concept. I'm looking forward to trying it. Tell you what, let's get the cavalry out. Oi, oi. This will be a disaster. Oh, please. Good. Right, well, there's absolutely tons of bits of dead wood lying around the place like this, so I think what I'm going to do is very quickly, when this has taken, is get the Kelly kettle on top, and then it'll act as a chimney with a lot more heat. So I'm going to put some water in. For a decent sized brew. On with the plunger. And on it goes. Let's just take this label off here. And there we are. And then you can start. Oh yeah, it really does work. Look at that. A bit of a mess here, but I'm going to use that now for making my meal, so that's all good. That was quick. Time for a hot chocolate. This I have remembered. Doing all right so far, folks. And they even have a spoon, that will shock you. Oh well, I'll have to do the back of a fork. Take the plunger out. And then you just lift the back. There we go. Absolutely love it. Yeah, so if you wanted to cook on whilst the water's boiling, you've got this thing which pops on top. You just like that, and then it just slots into the top there, and you can have a pot on there, which is a really efficient way of doing things. Well, I've had to adapt. The little hobo stove is absolutely brilliant, but it's -2 degrees and the wood is absolutely frozen, and to get it to go it has to obviously defrost, dry, and then take the light. So I've managed to find a little bit of dead standing wood, which is actually quite thick, so it's taking some time to get going, but as I'm looking now, it seems to have established itself. So yeah, I've had to turn from doing what was going to be a nice little... Oh, Jen, be careful of the fire, Danny. Go on. What was a nice little demo of the Kettle into a little bit of open fire cooking. But what I'm going to cook this afternoon is some bratwurst, actually turning into a currywurst. I definitely cooked this on one of my early YouTube videos and got a lot of interesting debrief points to it, that I hadn't used enough of this, enough of that, but I thought it was delicious, so I'm going to make it again just the same way actually. Got some, I'll take you through the ingredients as I cook rather than just give you a sort of a complete display, but basically these are the big boys that you need. Bratwurst, get them from any reasonable supermarket, and I'm going to mix those with various spices, tomato sauce and so on, and a sprinkling of curry powder, and it's going to be delicious. But I've got to work out now how I'm going to set my frying pan on this fire. While that's establishing itself and I'm getting some coals going, a couple of you, well actually quite a few of you, were interested on how the Ironman had gone. It was, just to remind you, it was a 2.5 mile swim, 112 mile bike, and a full marathon, 26.2 miles at the end. I did it. It wasn't pretty. I found it absolutely brutal. The wind was getting up to 40 miles an hour on the bike ride, and the bike ride was sort of 2 loops, and on the outbound into wind, one of the bits of the loops were all the extra time making distance little mini loops which were all into wind as well. So I had this horrendous into wind cycle time, which on a normal one you think, oh right, coming back with the wind I can get my energy back and relax, but I had to use that following wind to regain all the time I'd lost with the outbound bits of the loop. So the cycle, it was just really hard work. The swim was all right. Swim was fine, 2.5 miles, really quite tidal and a little bit rough, but it was okay. The problem was the run. I mean, the run's always difficult on that transition from the bike to the run, because you're using a totally different muscle group, and you just have to sort of get through that mile or sort of 10 minutes or so of complete discomfort whilst you get your sort of running legs going. And I got through that, and I actually started to get into a nice little gentle jog. I was using the feed station and so on. I did about sort of 3 or 4 miles, and I felt absolutely fine. And the one thing it went, I just cramped up. My legs just stopped working. When I stopped at a feed, well, I walked through a feed station taking the nutrition and then broke into a run, it was just like bang, and just horrendous, completely cramped up. So from about 6 miles in, I had to basically just fast walk it, and in the last, and then I cramped up with that, my back was hurting, and then the last sort of 5 miles was really just a shuffle, a real old man shuffle. I was determined that I wasn't going to give up though, and it wasn't pretty. My timing wasn't great, but hey, I'm an Ironman. I did the distance, and I'm feeling really pleased about it. And I got the tattoo, which it hasn't gone down brilliantly with Mrs. Outdoors, but I think she knew I was going to do it, so it's just one of those things. But that's the debrief on it. It was pretty brutal conditions as far as the wind concerned. No rain or anything like that, but the wind was horrendous for the bike, which I was hoping to be sort of my strongest discipline. So that's the Ironman debrief. I did it. I'm an Ironman, and I'm not going to do another. This is my usable knife, one of my sort of rough cut and nice. It's got the luminous liners in it, and I'm very pleased with it because it's a knife that I use. It's not too, sorry, there's a bit of quarry traffic. It's just got some hard shoulders on it, it's waterproof, and I love it. So in we get these, and it's very sharp. How many of these am I going to have? I think 3. Oh no, I'll share some with the dog, but I won't spice the dog's one, but I just want to cut them across like that, put them back on the packet, stop them getting covered in leaves, and don't think my frying pan's big enough to take them lengthways, so I'll just chop them like that and then cook them up. Jem, get out of there! Fine, divvy. Got my lovely Swedish frying pan. I hope those of you that won them in the draw are enjoying them. Just going to put a bit of coconut oil in for those sausages and the bratwurst. God, everything's frozen. Look at that. Absolutely frozen. I'm actually quite pleased I'm having a proper fire because it's keeping me warm. Gosh, well, I think that's enough anyway. These have even slightly frozen while they've been out. It shows how cold it is. Yeah, ice on them. They're done. I'm just going to put them here, keep them warm. Going to make up the sauce. Let a couple of these cool down for my dog as well. Sauce is really easy. Here we go. Tomato ketchup. There we go. Paprika. Sorry about the chuckles, I know people don't like them. Cayenne pepper, which is yet unused, so bit of that in there, not too much, and curry powder. A little bit more tomato sauce. Now we're talking. Well, the idea is that the sausages are broken up, stuck back in to heat through. Not forgetting to save a couple minus all the hot spices for Jem, my dog. And I'll just let that warm through. Cut a couple of these up for the dog. There you go. Here you go, Jack. What's this? What? What? Come on. This is you. It's all yours. This is a first. Come on, Diddy. I don't think she thinks she's allowed it because it's a bit unusual. Come on, then. It's all yours. That's better, isn't it? Come on. Tuck it. Tuck it. It's all yours then. Go on there. She thinks she's stealing something, and she knows she gets into trouble when she eats our older dog's soft food. Come on, honey. Jem. Come on. Come on. It's yours. It's yours. It's yours. That's more like it, isn't it? So I've just cooked that down, let it warm through the chopped up bits of sausage in the sauce now. I'm going to sprinkle it with a bit of curry powder and eat it straight from the pan. There we go. Currywurst in the woods in -2. Oh. That's just how I remember it. I spent a lot of time in Germany when I was in the RAF, and I told this story, so it's boring, but it used to be a wagon that parked outside the sort of station gates, and there's just this mad rush. They used to call it a bratty wagon, and you'd get this, and this takes me back. And it's better than the last time I cooked it. Actually, I've added a bit more cayenne and paprika, probably too much cayenne. But it's funny how flavours bring back memories, especially with that sprinkling of curry powder. And this is just like back in 1986. Oh, just what the doctor ordered. You know, I wasn't gonna. I've had the flu, and I shook it off, and it sort of came back again. Not the flu, but this really bad cough, sore throat, running nose. Came back a couple of nights ago, and I thought, oh, I've got to do a video. I really haven't done one for ages, and I was feeling so lousy. It was the last thing I felt like doing, but I thought, just get up, go for it, and it's been so worth it. This is just delicious. Oh. I'll finish this, make loads of food delight noises, and get some clearing up, and I'll speak to you on my way out. Now, because the weather's so cold, I'm not in the slightest bit fussed about this little bit of steam that's coming off. It's just that the weather's freezing, and so any change is just vaguely warm to the touch, but the same as it does to your breath, the same it'll do to any residual heat. So I'm not in the slightest bit fussed. I'm coming back here tomorrow, so what I'm going to do is not cover it in leaves, just to be extra careful. But I think I'm over the top there, so I'll just leave that patch there just to gently cool off. But as I say, it's vaguely warm to the touch, and when I come back tomorrow with the dog, I'm just gonna cover it in leaves, so there'll be absolutely no trace. But I don't think I'll cover it in the leaf litter for now, just to allow that to naturally cool. But just even as I'm talking to you, there's only just a little bit of residual steam, and I'm not worried about that at all. So that's me for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't like leaving even a couple of square feet of bare ground, so I'll come back here tomorrow, cover that up, but I just don't want to leave any leaf litter on there with it just gently steaming away. But as you can see, my breath, any residual heat will make steam. But yeah, good. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Nice little simple video again. I've got some great plans for the new year. Actually, myself and my great friend Steve had a little bit of a brainstorming session yesterday, and one of the ideas we've come up with for something to make camping a lot more fun and a lot easier, accessible and portable. We brainstormed something yesterday, which you can tell by the smile on my face. I think it's going to be pretty good, and we were both really enthusiastic yesterday when we were sort of, how to use that word, spitballing the ideas. So we've got the concept, Steve's got the engineering knowledge and mind to put sort of both our thoughts into sort of solid and something tangible, which is great. And I'm excited about it. But that'll be me until the end of the season. Merry, whatever I'm allowed to say to you. Merry Christmas. I hope you've had a good year. It's been a tough one again for all of us, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the videos. I hope you managed to get out, and I very much look forward to sharing 2023 with you. So take care, have a great Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll see you soon. Actually, as I was busy doing the sign-off and setting the camera up to do my walk away, where I share videos up in the right hand side or either side, I can't remember, it's actually stopped steaming, so there's no residual heat there anymore. So this makes me feel a lot happier. I'm just going to cover this now with leaf litter, and even if I come here with a dog tomorrow, I don't have to do any clearing up, so very happy about that. And there we go, just as I left it. There you go. You're desperate for me to throw a stick. Go on, darling. Good, excellent. Very pleased about that. I didn't like leaving any sort of trace, even if it was for about 12 hours. See you soon.